Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to my sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a white man who actually came out to ask black people what is racism. And he went further to say that he is asking because, everything is all about race this time around, and white people, also experience racism. And I want to ask him how, where, who really, how did he experience that? And what did that person did or do that made him think it was racism and the rest of it, you know? And that really, brought me to thinking about the experiences that people like me, what they have gone through and the things they are still going through to this very moment. And somebody is asking us what is racism, that we always make it up, that is how they come out to to gaslight themselves. That moment they tell you that you all are making it up. Why social media is all over the place, we all see what is going on, and the systemic racism that has been mounted to oppress people that look like me. And he is telling me that they experience racism too. You know what? Let's get into this.
I ask this question out of the utmost respect. This question goes to the Black POC African American community. What is racism? The reason why I ask that. Because in 2024, today is February 18th, 2024. I'm Gen X. I grew up in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. We actually face racism. But it seems like today, everything is racist. So how am I as a white person to know what's racist and what isn't racist? Because you guys seem to change the rules every time you turn around. This is a legit question. And this is so white people can learn what is and what isn't racism. When you change the rules on what is and what isn't racism. Because I can almost guarantee just me asking this question is going to be considered racist. Funny how that works out, isn't it? When you truly do not understand racism. Y'all have a great day. Just my 2 cents and just a question. I ask this question out of the utmost respect. This question goes to the Black POC African American community. What is racism? The reason why I ask that. Because in 2024, today is February 18th, 2024. I'm Gen X. I grew up in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. We actually face racism.
You didn't face shit. You didn't. I am Gen X. 70s baby, raised in the 80s. You did not face racism. Because if you did, you wouldn't be asking this question. You would not. You say you're a Gen X person, then you would have gotten educated about what racism is and isn't by now. You faced nothing. Continue.
But it seems like today, everything is racist. So how am I as a white person to know what's racist and what isn't racist?
By having a conversation with people who've actually faced it. By realizing that you were not a victim of something that people that look like you invented. That's how you do it. By listening more and talking less. See, that's the problem with a lot of Caucasian people in America. You want to be centered. You want your feelings centered, your ideas centered. You want your victimhood centered, and we will not do that. We won't. Sorry. And here's another way to know what is and isn't racism. Me talking about it is not victim mentality. It's me talking about it. Here is victim mentality, January 6, 2021. That's the easiest way to figure it out. If you don't know, do research. And then listen more and talk less. Continue.
How am I as a white person to know what's racist and what isn't racist? Because you guys seem to change the rules every time you turn around. This is a legit question.
And what I'm giving you is my legit answer. Nobody changed the rules. We don't make the rules of racism. We don't. We never have, and we never will. We survive it. You see, like I said, this is an honest answer to an honest question. The one thing marginalized communities in America have been trying to get people that look like you to stop thinking is that everything is a pie. And there's only a certain amount of pieces for certain people. That's why when we talk about classism, racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia. Y'all have the pie mentality in your head. And that is what stops 99% of conversations. Because don't nobody want to talk to somebody who seems to think that, oh, well, you guys can be oppressed, but I can't. Do I look like the sort of person that would have enjoyed living through an entire history of more slavery and more Jim Crow laws? Do I look like I'm longing for that? Does any black person look like we're longing for that? We're not. It's not a pie. It's not the oppression Olympics. Y'all have to get very comfortable with being uncomfortable. And you will not do it. But you expect us to bend our life experiences around your unwillingness to be uncomfortable. And you have now reached a point in American history where the generations behind me, behind us, are saying, no, we don't have to bend our life experiences around your inability to be uncomfortable. Nobody changes the damn rules. What we're doing is talking about it more. That's what places like TikTok, that's why they keep trying to suppress the voices of people like us. Because we're not going back to the days where our life experiences had to be shunned, pushed down, kept quiet, kept as a little family secret because guys that look like you never wanted to adapt to the idea of a diverse society. If you were genuinely asking this question, there are easier ways to do it. But I can tell there's a little bit of hitch right in your voice that shows that this isn't about I want to learn. This is about why do you change the rules? Because eventually you're going to say you have been the victim. Pie mentality. Oppression Olympics. Use this thing you made this video on and learn. Understand some of the history that you were not taught or you ignored when it was taught to you. Sit and ask yourself, was I raised around this? Did my dad say these things? Did my mom say these things? Is there a family member that I love dearly that have said these things? And then, when you do that, be willing to confront them. Uncomfortability. And then, when you do want to have an open conversation about the racist history of this country, do not come to us as if we're stupid, like we don't know what we're talking about, because those days are over. The very best example of what you guys want, content of character, not color of skin, was shot to death. So you don't get any more MLKs. No. And if you're not prepared to have those conversations with these people who've had to live with this history over and over and over, my kids, my grandkids, other people, other black, brown, and marginalized community kids, if you're not willing to sit down and have those conversations, then my suggestion to you is don't look for an answer to this question, because you're not going to like it when you find it. Like you said, honest question, honest answer.
So this is all I got from this video. I am not sure this man genuinely asked this question because he wants to know, because he started saying that they experience racism too, right? And he started by, I want to ask a question to Black, POC, and to African Americans, right? What is racism? So the reason he was asking is because, like in 2024, it's really amazing how they wake up to still ask questions like this and try to center themselves, or trying to also make Black people feel like they are also experiencing what we are experiencing. That now he is telling us that they also face racism. And I am asking, how exactly, where did you experience that racism, from who and how? That everything is racist. And how is he, if as a palm-colored person, how is he a racist? And people that ask all these kind of questions, trust me, they know what they are doing. They just want to gaslight you and telling you that you want to change the rules. How are we changing the rules? Has everything not ever been about race? Because they make it look like we are making all this up when they know that there is nothing like making up anything. They know what they are doing. So in everything you see them, they always look for a way to be also the center of attraction, you know. They always look for a way to fix themselves in, because I don't see how somebody woke up and he want to ask Black people what is racism, and try not just asking that, going also further to tell us that they experience racism. And I am asking, from who did you experience that from? All these people do not even know how, like, you know, they cannot even relate, or they have never experienced what Black people experience. You know, I keep saying this, They are never ever scared for their life when being pulled over. Their kids have that joy of enjoying their childhood and not like, growing up so fast like black people. As a black kid, you grow up so fast because the society has made it like, you really have to be at alert. You don't have to relent, you have to really be up and doing. So black kids grow up so fast. So you can imagine seeing a child. When you see a child, you definitely will know. But it's amazing how they see a 10-year-old child, 11-year-old child. They see that person as an adult. I remember a video where a child was so pressed. He is probably from 10 to 13 years, or maybe not up to that. A child that was very pressed and pee. Can you imagine, like, a child, and the child like peed somewhere and he was arrested. And I look at all this and I ask myself, is it because of the skin color? Of course it is. And they end up telling you it is not. You all already know that America was built on race. That feeling of not knowing if you are going to make it home if you are being pulled over. I remember one man, a video that circulated sometime, a man that was pulled over by the cops. This old man was in tears, telling them that my family is expecting me. You can imagine that kind of frustration, because you don't know what it's going to happen. And he hands up and he was screaming, my family are expecting me home. I do not have the fact that you are going to keep screaming all this, that you are not even armed, and they still tase you. Someone that is not armed, And then some palm-colored people are still going to tell us that, why is it that we always resist? That when the cops pull you over, you don't have, when people are not. I mean, it is just so easy for them to sit back in their comfortable houses and become keypad warriors, because that is what I call them. They type whatever that comes to their mind, because they are not in our shoes. They don't understand what we go through, or they do, but they just want to keep lying to themselves. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.